Welcome back, friends. We were dealing with fund flow statement and we were discussing in detail the theoretical aspect of various areas that comes under fund flow statement because we have to deal with different areas because actually a fund flow statement is not a single statement. It is a combination of different aspects, and for the computation of different aspects, we need to identify and understand various areas. So we will discuss the further areas that comes under fund flow statement. Next one, preparation of fund flow statement. As I have just mentioned earlier, preparation fund flow statement is actually a combination of different areas. And for the preparation of a fund flow statement as a whole, you need to familiarize different areas or statement that has to be prepared during the computation. So before we going into the fund flow statement as a whole, we will discuss in detail the various aspects or various steps that has to be followed during the preparation of fund flow statement. A fund flow statement is prepared after preparing the final accounts. We all know after preparing profit and loss account and balance sheet. A comparative balance sheet together with income statement for the current year form the basis for preparation of fund flow statement. Remember, in fund flow statement, you will be given two balance sheets relating to two accounting period so as to study the change in or flow in fund. However, in many cases, a comparative balance sheet and additional information may be given. You will discuss that part by the end of the theoretical aspects of this fund flow statement. Today we will discuss in detail the various steps in the preparation of fund flow statement. This is a very important part, different steps that has to be followed. The first and the foremost step in fund flow statement is a schedule has to be prepared, and it is known as schedule of changes in working capital. As the name suggests, it studies in detail what are the factors that led to the change in the working capital of the organization. And by preparing the schedule of changes in working capital, we will study the working capital position of the organization. We will discuss in detail soon. Next one, non-current accounts. Sometimes you have to prepare some accounts, ledger accounts, depending upon the information given in the question. Sometimes information may not be directly given. That is the reason, directly given. So sometimes information relating to certain items may not be directly given. So you have to prepare the account of such items. Mainly it will be a non-current item. Sometimes a non-current item or a current item depends upon the additional information given in the question. Anyway, surely you have to prepare some ledger account. Some information are incomplete. It can be fully recovered only through preparation of various accounts. That is the second step, preparation of various accounts. Next one, fund from operation. That is another important area. Once you have completed preparing these two, schedule of changes in working capital and non-current account, you need to prepare fund from operation. And many of the items for the preparation of fund from operation is obtained from non-current accounts and also on the basis of information given in the balance sheet, given in the question. And once you have prepared fund from operation, the final is the fund flow statement. Actually, the name of the final statement is source and application account or source and application statement. And as a whole, we can call all the combination of all these four steps as fund flow statement. As I have mentioned earlier, fund flow statement is a combination of different steps. So these are the four areas that has to be prepared for so as to find the fund flow of the organization. It is a very important module and we will discuss in detail all these four steps. Only after going through all these four steps only you will get a glimpse into the concept of fund flow statement. And the real idea or the concept of the fund flow statement can be understood only after dealing with the application level questions. Until then, you will get a big idea of the concepts. Okay, first of all, schedule of changes in working capital. It is the first step in the preparation of a fund flow statement. The object of preparing a schedule of changes in working capital is to ascertain the net increase or decrease in working capital during the current year. It is prepared according to the definition of working capital. We all know the equation current asset minus current liability. As you all know, you will be given two balance sheets and you need to extract all the current assets and current liabilities and present them in this schedule of changes in working capital. Each of the item of current assets is shown for the 2 years along with its effect on working capital during the current year. Thereafter, each item of current liability is shown together with change in working capital. Means that remember this rule. In schedule of changes in working capital, you will record all the current assets and current liabilities given in the balance sheet. And why you are recording this current assets and current liability means you need to study the change in current asset or current liability. Change in the sense that whenever you, as I had mentioned earlier, you will be given two balance sheet date. That is, whenever you are selecting a current item, current asset, there will be two current assets amount because there are two balance sheet. So you need to make sure whether there is any change in current asset during that particular period. Particular period means between two balance sheet dates. There will be an increase in current asset or there will be a decrease in current assets as well as the current liabilities. In case of current liabilities, there will be an increase or a decrease. That is a concept. But this basic rule has to be remembered. First one, when the current asset increases, there is increase in working capital. Remember the equation, working capital is current asset minus current liability. So when there is an increase in current asset, it means there is an increase in working capital. When the current asset decreases, there is a decrease in working capital. That is for the current asset. Basic rule for the current assets. Next one. Similarly, there is an inverse or opposite relation between current liabilities and amount of working capital. That is, when current liability increases, there is a decrease in current working capital, and when current liability decreases, there is increase in working capital. Very simple, basic rule, but you have to be very careful while dealing with this rule. You may find it confusing. Note now, you are going to get confused while dealing with the same questions or application question at the time of examination. So remember this rule. First step is preparation or schedule of changes in working capital. That statement or that schedule is prepared to study the change in working capital. Working capital in the sense means current assets and current liabilities. So rules regarding the current asset, remember, if you can't remember all these four items, just remember at least relating to one, that is current assets or current liability. Because if you learn the rule of one item, that is current asset, it is just the opposite the other. I hope you understand all these areas. Next, format of schedule of changes in working capital. As we have mentioned earlier, the first step in the preparation of fund flow statement is preparation of schedule of changes in working capital. As the name suggests, it prepares or it records all the current assets and current liabilities of the organization and analyzes the change in particular item pertaining to that particular accounting periods. So, this is how a schedule of changes looks like. Heading is schedule of changes in working capital. It consisting of 5 columns. First column is particulars, followed by previous year, current year, increase in working capital and decrease in working capital. And regarding these items, previous year, what is the meaning of previous year and current year? Simple example means if you are given, as I told earlier, you will be given to balance sheet. if you are given two balance sheets, these balance sheets will have a date. And the two balance sheet may be, one may be relating to 2019 and another may be relating to 2020. So which year comes first? 2019. So first column goes for the first year, that is the year that is beginning, that is 2019. Next one is current year, that is the coming year, the year that is followed by 2019, that is 2020. That is relating to the year, that is relating to the present period. You may come across a question where it will be given 2010 and 2011. In that case, what are you going to do? Because in the format it is given previous year and current year. 2010 and 2011 are long gone back. How you are going to enter? Simple. Out of the 2010 and 2011, which one is the first year? That is beginning year, 2010. So here the first column is 2010. Next one is 2011. That is the order. Why I am keeps on explaining this concept is the position of the years are very important. The beginning year or the first year that comes in the question has to be given in the previous year column, and the following year has to be given in the current year column. If there is any shift or change in the years column, your entire question is long gone. You will not get any marks, because this is the first step in the preparation of fund flow statement. And if you are committing mistake, that means the entire question or the entire answer is a total loss. Okay, next one, followed by increase in working capital and decrease in working capital. We have just discussed that increase and decrease factor in the basic rule regarding the change in current asset and current liability. Okay, how we are going to deal with. For the time being, I am just explaining any of the two items. Remember, the schedule of changes in working capital is prepared to record current assets as well as current liabilities. Current assets include all these items. I hope you all know what are the examples of current assets. Here, all the current assets are not mentioned here. Sometimes you may come across a question where current assets that are not mentioned here may be included. So you have to be very familiar with various current assets. And current liability, you have to go through all these current liabilities and familiarize all these two heads. That is the concept. Okay. You have to begin with current asset, because we know the equation, working capital equation is current assets minus current liability. So first is current asset, so you have to begin with current asset. Never ever begin with current liability. So current asset, you have to give a heading current assets followed by various item, then current liabilities, various item. So under current assets, here there are different X are given in this format. For the time being, this X, please neglect all these X, because it is not given in a logical manner. So some are given in logical manner, so we will discuss some examples. You will understand the real picture only in the application part. We will discuss. So how we are going to write? Whenever you are given a fund flow statement, preparation question where you have to prepare a fund flow statement. If you are dealing with stock, you will write the year stock, the amount of the stock in the first balance sheet date will be written in this column, and the amount of stock in the second balance sheet date will be written in the second column. And the next item is, you need to make sure whether there is change in stock. Change in the stock means that whether there is increase or decrease in the value of the stock when compared with the previous and current year. That is, in the previous year there will be amount, and make sure whether that amount is increased when compared to current year. That is, if for the exam time we are using whether the stock of the previous year is 100 and the current year is 120. Did it increase or not? Yes, it is increased, because at the beginning it was 100, now it is 120, so it is increased. So whenever a current asset is increased, we learned that it leads to increase in working capital. So the difference amount is 20. That is, at the beginning it was 100, then the current year it was 120. So there is an increase of 20. You have to note or specify that difference amount in this column. Why in this column? Because there is an increase in asset. Whenever there is an increase in asset, it leads to increase in working capital. That is the purpose of these two columns. Sometimes there will be an increase in working capital, sometimes there will be a decrease in working capital. You have to note that specific difference accordingly. Remember, whenever you are dealing with current asset, the amount in the current year is bigger, then there will be increase in working capital. And for example, here bills receivable, an amount of the first year balance sheet will be recorded, and amount in the second balance sheet will be recorded. And here, previous year the amount might have been higher, followed by a smaller amount. So there is a decrease in current asset. That's why here the amount is written in the decrease in working capital column. That is a concept of working capital. Here they are using X. That's why it is not catching. You will understand this concept while we are dealing with the problem area. This is the concept of preparation of schedule of changes in working capital. Remember, schedule of changes in working capital is used to record the current assets and current liability. From that, it will study whether there is change in current assets and current liability, and ultimately all these changes led to any change. That is, any change means any increase or decrease in working capital. That is the concept of preparation of schedule. And remember, in current assets, any amount which is higher in current year will be an increase in working capital. Here I am using a small square and a large square. An asset whose amount is higher in current year means it is increase in working capital. As well, an asset in which amount is higher in previous year means decrease in working capital. That is the concept. It is a trick for the convenience purpose. Similarly, you have to do the same in case of current liabilities, but in this case the rule will be the opposite of current assets. Here there is creditors, 2 item is given. So here in this case the current asset is current liability, that is creditors, is increase. For the time being I am using large square, increase. So when an increase in current liability will leads to a decrease in working capital. That's why here X is used. The difference in the amount of these two items has to be recorded. That is, if the creditors in the beginning was 50 and at the current year was 100, the difference is 50. So here the 50 has to be recorded. So likewise, another item, bank overdraft, at the beginning it was higher, and in the current year it was smaller. It may be, for the time being I am just explaining, it's smaller. So it leads to, because here there is a decrease in current liability, so it leads to an increase in working capital. That is the concept of preparation of schedule of changes in working capital. And finally, you will study and analyze all these amount, and you will get a final result that depicting whether all these changes leads to increase or decrease in working capital. If there is an increase, total increase in current asset, it will leads to increase in working capital. If there is a total increase in current liability over the current asset, then there will be a decrease in working capital. Don't worry, we will discuss about this part in the application level, then you will get a clear picture about the aspect. That's all for today. We will discuss about the further cases in the coming session. Thank you.